Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus. Again, this is still the third Monday, 2020. And yes, I'm still in Itta Mississippi. And I got something I'd like to share with my fellow Americans, my fellow sisters, and my fellow brothers. Last night I spent some time responding to those who have said that they weren't really satisfied with the way I present my message. They say I'm too critical. They say that I don't give them any credit for the things that they do. And so, if they say this is the picture that I presented to them, if this is what they got from it, that's definitely not what I was trying to give. And for that, I offered my apology. And I was just thinking today, ladies and gentlemen, how important that must have been for all of the people who found some problems with the things that were going on. But I want to take advantage of this moment to say for all of those who have subscribed to my post, for this particular post channel, I only have about 55 subscribers. I have another channel that got about 51 subscribers, a total of about 106 subscribers over a 10-year period. And over the 10-year period, I've been speaking basically about the same kinds of things. I've been speaking about, you know what I've been speaking about. And it hasn't caused anybody to be interested in what I'm saying. And so I just want to say to all of those of you who perhaps have subscribed to my posts and you don't like what I say, I'm asking you to unsubscribe. All of my literal brothers and sisters, paternal brothers and sisters, if you don't like my posts, I ask that you unsubscribe. I don't want to put anything on you that you cannot handle. And for those of you who I've called friends, who perhaps are thinking the same things about what I say and how I say it, I ask that you unsubscribe. It's not even worth it. I realize today, ladies and gentlemen, that why you complain. You complain because you are not ready. And I'm out here doing what I do because I understand that you are not ready. Today I witnessed, as I was at a medical facility, I witnessed some people going through cancer treatment. I witnessed them going through all kinds of pain, all kinds of suffering. I witnessed them crying out to God, Lord, help me. Jesus, help me. In the name of God, help me. Oh, Jesus, Jesus. And the prayers were going up, and they would say things like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, while the pain was just as excruciating as it could possibly be. I'm sitting there watching this, observing this. And as much as I could take, I took it. Then walking away from that observation, I went to another point, and I saw an elderly lady. And what she was doing was backing her car up. And as she was backing her car up, her tie rods, her outer tie rods, all of them seemed to have been down, no good. In fact, her wheels looked like they were about to fall off her car. It was making all kinds of noise as she was trying to turn and get out of the place that she was in. I observed that, ladies and gentlemen. And as I did, I just admit, I couldn't keep the tears from my face. Maybe I'm just a crybaby. Maybe I'm just that. So I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I learned. As those people who are crying because of this pain that they have to endure, I sat there and I helped when I was asked to help in those places where my help was needed. And I listened to the prayers and I watched. And you know what I heard? I heard God do nothing. Now I know this is a loving God that I tell you about, but I watched God in the pain and agony that these people were crying out, do nothing. And I know why God did nothing. Because God has taught me, don't come to God praying to God to work miracles when he has given you the ability to take care of certain things yourselves. And if you haven't taken care of them, then you must learn. And then I thought about those who are complaining about what I say, telling me I talk too soft. Why don't you tell God that he's talking too soft? Why don't you tell God that he is out of place? Why don't you put God in God's place? Yeah, I want to tell you, and I'm not fussing, but I'm going to tell you this. I don't care what you say about me. If you don't like what I say, unsubscribe. I'm not concerned about what you're thinking. Your pain, my friend, is the reason that I'm out here. I know what it's like when you're sick, when God has given you the ability to have the appropriate type of medical care to do the things that you might need to recover. And rather than take concern and go forward doing these kinds of things, you're concerned about making money. Even making medicine that keep people sick. Fixing the food, trying to make money that gets people sick, people with cancer, all this kind of stuff. I grew up in the South where we raised our own food. Never heard of the kind of cancers and stuff going on. And all of a sudden, big corporations getting all of the contracts, producing all of the foods, poisoning all of the foods so the food supply won't die. Putting all that junk in the animals, chickens and hogs and cows, destroying them so we can consume that food and destroy ourselves, but you're concerned about the dollar. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll tell you again, for those of you who believed in the one man, one woman that started the Earth's population, they all came out of that. It doesn't matter whether they were black, brown, blue, green, yellow, whatever color, they came out of that. That makes us all family. And families does not work. Family does not work against the family. They work with the family. It's one family, one for all and all for one. And so God has set up a way that we would not have to use money. But at this juncture, we understand that everything that we have been doing, everything that we require for survival, it involves money. So, if you want to use money, it's appropriate if that's your choice. But if that choice of using money denies some of the benefits that guarantees them survival, like food, clothing, shelter, and education, and health care, if any of these plans that you come up with denies people of any of these things, it is ungodly. And a godly person knows that. And if a godly person knows that and sees someone else trying to be godly but does not know that, he doesn't sit back and wait till you grow up. Do your parents wait till you grow up and get some smarts? They try to teach you along the way. And if you act ignorant, don't want to learn, and be dumb, then you're going to get the benefits of being ignorant and being dumb. But your parents, if they're good parents, they're going to try to give you the best that they got. And if someone is concerned about God and you, they're going to give you the best they got. I don't care how much you get mad and upset. My concern is to make sure that you got what you need, that your cars can run perfect, that you can live the kind of life that's special to you. That's my concern. You getting mad, I don't give a shit about you getting mad. Now, I know you preachers who are out there robbing people who got all of this. I think they were talking about people who had pastors who and having assets of $300 million, $200 million, $100 million, $36 million, on down and so forth. All big pastors, all big churches, all kind of money. I know you don't want anyone to mess with your money. You getting this money from these people and lying to them like God is blessing you. But God is not blessing you. These people are blessing you. And you're getting them to put their faith in God when God is not doing a darn thing for them. Why? Because it is our responsibility to do it. And all of my sisters and all of my brothers and all of my preachers and all of my folks who think you can't put up with this, I don't care. I don't care if you can't. Then I'm talking to the people whose cars broken down. I'm talking to the people who they're trying to make work for $5 an hour, $15 an hour. I'm talking to the people who don't even have homes to live in. That's what I'm talking to. I'm telling them, they know I'm telling the truth, and they know that you are partners with the things that's happening in this world, and they themselves curse you in the name of God, sitting up trying to look pretty, sitting up talking about how much you read the scriptures and what they mean to you. Have you been in the trenches? Have you been in the crevices? Have you been down there with those that's hurting? Have you walked the streets with those who have no health care? Have you walked the streets with those who are suffering? And if you were, what did you do about it? Just sit around and complain? Sit around and complain and wait for God to work a miracle? Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. A miracle come every now and then. A miracle come every now and then. I do not give a heck how much you pray. Prayer don't produce anything that God has given you the ability to do for yourself. You hear me? Praying is not going to do one doggone thing for you that God has given you the ability to do for yourself as an individual and as a collective. You better wake up. Years ago, you were told this message, and you rejected it for the same old reason. Who is he? Who is this man talking to us about these kinds of things? And you ended up with Donald Trump. And this man is walking all over everything that you call yourself holding holy, the Constitution of the United States. You're talking about down in Atlanta or Georgia, someplace down there, where the peoples have been put in a position where they cannot vote by the government. The government is setting it up so they cannot vote, just trying to squash it, and they're getting away with it. And you call yourself having a system, a law that would protect you. What kind of protection are you getting from this system that you've established? I mean, every time somebody want to kick you in the butt, they're kicking you in the butt and getting away with it, and you trying to find some excuse, and then praying to God to take the foot out. When you won't stand up and say, I'm not going to take it anymore. He showed you through George Floyd what was going on. He showed you. I said I don't know what God is. God is a spirit, I know that. A man or woman, he's not. Well, that didn't make any sense. A man or woman, he is not. God is not a physical structure looking like you or I. So I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, the message was genuine. The systems of the world are ruled by people. Whether they're white, black, Chinese, Russian, wherever they are, they're ruled by people. And they got systems of government that rule the people. And everywhere on the face of the earth where these demons rule, people suffer. And you accept it. In the United States, well, before I go there, George Floyd's suffering was an indication that the pain that black lives or people of color have to endure is not just in America, it's all over the earth. This is why when the message was made public, the world's people stood up and say, we are part of this too. And we're looking for an example. We're looking for some boldness. We're looking for an alternative to this demon. But where is it? Taking pictures might be good to do something. To say get up off him, to say leave the people alone, to say be fair and honest, it might mean that you got a want, but that's not the thing that will produce. The thing that will produce is faith, that when you stand up, you're standing up for what's right. Faith, that what you're standing up for, that you're committing your life to is going to work. Faith, that ain't nothing on the earth going to stop you except God, God's self. That's what God is calling on us to do as ones that say we got a connection with God, and we can't do that. We need to go sit our tails down. We need to put these books down. We need to put these books down. Don't be talking about, well, God is going to handle this. You will put a dog to sleep and watch a human being suffer. Just suffer, because you got no compassion for her. You got no empathy. You've been trained by Satan and you think you're serving God. No, I don't care if you don't like what I say. I don't give a stink if you don't like what I say. But I'm telling you what God has taught me. And if he has taught you what you know, it's not the same God. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really thought I was going to come at you kind of tough. I've been on this all day, waiting for that moment when I can get away just to say these things. And I just got away. And it doesn't seem like I got that much to say. But I want you to know, God is love. And God is the answer. And if you're sick and somebody laying hands on you praying, that is not the answer. It's not going to work. Somebody might say, well, It used to, well, it might have used to. There was a time we didn't have doctors. But because it stopped working, we do have doctors. And everything that we could have done for ourselves as an individual, as a collective, by just following the truth, the things that we don't have the ability to do anymore, God has set it up so we still will not be denied. But you got to put your faith in God. And what that means by putting your faith in God means that you got to recognize that you got the responsibility to take care of those things, and you got to get up off your stinking booty and do it, or it won't get done. Thank you.